Hello children. Today's topic of our session is gel electrophoresis. In our previous classes, we have been discussing about various steps of recombinant DNA technology. So first being the step by the using of restriction enzyme, we have cut the DNA at its recognition site, that is the palindromic recognition site of the restriction enzyme. So now we have got the DNA of our interest, we have got the DNA of the vector, and now we have cut the DNA based on the restriction enzyme which we have used, and now the DNA which is cut is ready with us, and now the sample is there with us. The next step which we have to take for the recombinant DNA technology is to separate the DNA fragments according to their sizes. And how it is going to be done? This is done with the help of this gel electrophoresis. You can read the slide also. Gel electrophoresis is the technique of separating DNA fragments based on their sizes. You can see the diagram also. There is a kind of a tray which is having some wells in it, and the whole of the system is connected to the electric field. How it is done? Let's have a look at it. First thing, as we have used the restriction enzyme, by using the restriction enzyme, we have cut the DNA into fragments. Second thing, what we will do after using the restriction enzyme, we are going to add a kind of a blue dye to the DNA solution, and then we will prepare these agarose plate. Now what is this agarose plate? Agarose is basically a natural linear polymer of D-galactose and 3,6-N-hydro-L-galactose. And this agarose is having a very small pores present in it, and as such when agarose gel has to be made, this agarose have to be added to the boiling water where it gets dissolved, and then a blue dye is added to it, and then this agarose gel is poured into the trays which you can see here in the diagram which is shown. So it is poured into that tray, and once it is poured, it gets cooled down, and once it's cooled down, the agarose become semi-solid in nature. It becomes like a gelatinous texture. It gets it. Then what will happen? You can see where in the diagram the labeling wells are given. These are small pits which are present on one side of this whole tray. That is gel electrophoresis tray is there, where we have added the solution of the agarose, and which has been cooled down, and now it has converted into gelatinous structure. To one side of it we have small pits like structure are present, which we call them as well. Now in this well, you can see the diagram. You can see the diagram which has been pasted in the slide. Sample is there. Now this sample bit by bit is added to all these wells. Then a buffer solution which has capacity to conduct the electricity through it is added to this whole system. So buffer is poured on the agarose gel, and before that the DNA sample is added to the wells. After this whole system is connected to a power supply. Thus an electric field is formed. How it is arranged? Where the wells are present, towards that side the cathode is kept, that is the negatively charged part of the electric field, and towards the opposite side of it anode is kept, that is the positive part of the field. So this is how the connection is done. The power supply is given to the whole of this apparatus. Let's just read it. DNA fragments, as they are negatively charged, can be separated by forcing them to move towards the anode under an electric field through a matrix. Commonly used matrix is agarose, which is a natural linear polymer of D-galactose and 3,6-N-hydro-L-galactose. This is extracted from a seaweed. If you remember a little bit, in Form 11 we have studied that some of the thallophyta, especially the Rhodophyceae group, they give some kind of phyllocolites to us. Those are, one of them is agarose. One is carrageenan was there, and then this is agarose which we get it. So that agarose we are using in this gel electrophoresis technique. Coming to the process, so once we have attached the whole of the system to the power supply, our DNA is a negatively charged DNA. Why it is? Because we have got the presence of phosphate group. Now because of that, our DNA is negatively charged, and when the whole of this apparatus is subjected to electric field, the DNA which we have loaded into the wells, it will start moving on this agarose plate. It will start moving gradually in a kind of a seeping manner, in a kind of a as I said that agarose gel have small pores present in it, so through that pores it's going to move. And the speed of movement of each and every fragment of DNA depends upon the size of that DNA which is moving in it. Now the smaller the size of the DNA, farther it is going to move. So bigger pieces of DNA will be lagging behind. On the contrary, the smaller pieces of the DNA will be moving ahead. So it will, like in the whole of the agarose gel, we can see the movement of the DNA. We can see the smaller fragments of the DNA moving faster towards the anode, and bigger pieces of DNA lagging behind. So by this particular step, we have separated the fragments of the DNA which we have got it because of the cutting of the restriction enzyme. This will be one step of the agarose gel. You can see in the second diagram also, those dashes like structure which you can see, they are nothing but the fragments of DNA which are moving in lieu to the electric field. So where electric field is positively charged, our negatively charged DNA starts moving towards the anode. Next one, after this thing is being done, this DNA has been separated out. What is done? It is either it has been done in it can be two steps can be done. First, like basically what happens once it has been separated out, then this DNA, to see them, to visualize it, some kind of a dye or some kind of an staining agent is added. To be more specific, ethidium bromide is added. Now this ethidium bromide has a capacity to give orangish color to the DNA whenever the DNA is exposed to the UV radiation size. I'm just reading the slide. The DNA fragments are separated out according to their sizes because of the sieving property of the agarose gel. Hence the smaller fragment size, the farther will move. The smaller the DNA, farther it is going to move. Then the separated DNA fragments are visualized after staining with ethidium bromide, followed by the exposure to UV radiation. The DNA fragments are seen as orange color bands. You can see in this photograph also, where you can see very small orange color dashes are there. They are nothing but the DNA, and this whole unit is exposed to UV radiation, where these DNA fragments are glowing because of the ethidium bromide treatment. Now once it is done, the next step is to separate the DNA from this agarose gel, because agarose gel is not a very stationary substance. It cannot take the DNA for a longer time. So it is very much necessary to separate the DNA after the segregation has been done. For this purpose, if you remember in one of our lectures, we have discussed about southern blotting technique. Now what is southern blotting technique? That we use nitrocellulose membrane. We keep it on the top of these kind of agarose plate, and gradually then we peel them off from that from the agarose gel plate. So the DNA gets stuck to that nitrocellulose membrane and it is taken out, and then the DNA can be separated out. Or one more thing can be done, that these gels are gelatinous in nature, they are semi-solid in nature. So very carefully these gelatinous pieces can be cut, and then the DNA can be extracted from there. And then once we get the fragments of the DNA, these fragments of the DNA can go for the next step, that is for the amplification, because we have very small fragment of DNA, and once we have to move further, we want more copies of it on a safer side, that if we lose one part, we have another same kind of DNA available to us, and we can go ahead with the experiment. So once the separation has been done, the DNA can go for the polymerase chain reaction, PCR reaction, where it can amplify itself. And after the amplification is there, one by one we can take that DNA. When we have ample sample of it, we can take one piece of the DNA and then add it to the vector. That is the next step of the recombination technology which we are studying. I'm just reading the slide. The separated bands are cut out and extracted from the gel piece, and the process is called as elution. Cutting of the extracting of the DNA fragment, the process is elution. The whole of this diagram shows the same thing. As I said, southern blotting, where nitrocellulose membrane is put on it. You can see in the figure number, I think it is available on figure number 2, where the this DNA is separated out. Then in figure number 3, paper towels are used to just soak it out, and nitrocellulose membrane is used there. Then figure number 4, you can see the peeling of that nitrocellulose filters, where the DNA fragments are stuck, and then later on they are exposed to the ethidium bromide, and then the probe can be also added so that we can visualize it when we are focusing it into a into the UV radiation film. So X-ray films, once we get it, we can see the pieces of the DNA. The purified DNA fragments are used to form recombinant DNA, which can be joined with the cloning vector. Now this is a small process called as gel electrophoresis, and just to connect this concept, we have also studied this gel electrophoresis when we were discussing about DNA fingerprinting. DNA fingerprinting also needs this gel electrophoresis. And now we are studying recombinant technology, so it also needs the gel electrophoresis, which is just a summary, which is a technique of separating DNA fragments based on their sizes. Smaller size move faster, bigger size move slow, and they use an agarose gel plate to separate it out. Ethidium bromide is used as a stain, and the process of taking out the separated DNA from the agarose plate is called as elution, which can be later subjected to either adding it to the vectors directly or going for more for attaining more number of same kind of DNA fragments. It can be subjected to amplification. It can be subjected to increase in the number of same kind of DNA fragment. Let's have a quick look at a video at this point.
What is gel electrophoresis? It is a method used to separate the DNA fragments of similar sizes in a gel on the electric charge at sites. Let us see how this technique is performed. In this technique, an agarose gel matrix molded with wells is used. The gel matrix is submerged into a tank filled with salt solution and hooked up to positive and negative electrodes. A blue dye is then added to the DNA fragments. After that, DNA samples is added into the wells of agarose gel. DNA, being negatively charged due to the presence of phosphate group, moves towards the positive terminal of electrophoresis chamber. These DNA molecules move in a reptile-like manner through the pores of agarose gel matrix. These smaller fragments move faster and farther than the larger fragments. And this is how they get separated. Agarose gel matrix is then stained with ethidium bromide to stain the DNA. It binds to DNA double helix structure. When this ethidium bromide stained agarose gel